Two, you're fired. I'm the best fire. Okay. What were we talking about? Who knows? You'll have to pair this video up with the news of the day and then you'll find out. This is Chad Parento. If you're interested in not participating in the open mic, you can text resign you can type resign in the chat. Otherwise, I assume you're all here to listen and you're all here for the all open mic to read. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to announcing features. I have to put up the information for Ari Whipple's feature on the week of the 14th on February 12th, and I'll also be announcing between tomorrow and Friday our second feature for the end of February. Who's coming out with a brand new book, and you probably, if you're friends with them, you've probably seen advertisements for the book and posts. So you might be able to guess it, but the announcement will be made official in the next 36 hours. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Thank you guys for coming out last week, and thank you guys for your patience as I try and fill in the slots. If we're lucky, we do have a feature announced for the first Stone Soup of our anniversary month in May, and we definitely have a feature coming up in June. So the slots are being filled, and hopefully more announcements are going to be made. I am reinstate. Thank you, Robert. That was love the text. So I'll be looking forward to filling those slots and making even more announcements, and hopefully more friends will be coming back, particularly for the month of May as we celebrate that, going all the way to September. Well, I'll be celebrating my 20th year as a Stone Soup host, taking the mantle from Jack Powers back in February 2005. No, September 2005. First feature being Ann Carhart.
Bravo,
Who
bravo, everybody. Cheers. Yay.
That's it. I'm typing resign in the I'm typing resign in the chat. Anyway, thank you guys very much. And the Ramdonator 5000 has already picked our first poet, and so glad to have you here for every mini apocalypse that we seem to have, at least once a week now. So your faith in me is much appreciated, and your words are appreciated. So let's hear some of those now. Let's start with different number one now. The Ramdonator 5000 has chosen Marianne Honecker.
Okay, let's see. This one is called Unplumbed. It is, oh, I don't have it written down here. It's another one of my golden shovels. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Um, okay, so this is Unplumbed, and it's a golden shovel using Andrea Cohen's Lit from Unfathoming. Bottom of the chatty stream, every rock is visible. Most are smooth, but one is sharp, crag of bare mountains. I can't, I can't, huffing to the mailbox, be an ordinary animal or an extraordinary beast, griffin or lamp in darkness. Coffee makes me feel lighter. Some people are transparent, and then some are opaque, even to themselves. I'm one who's a bit cloudy, a stream stepped in. Must have been my birth chart. A reason to be. The tree grows up and out, spreads canopy. The jellyfish pulses like a heart, lamp in the swelling tide. It comes to sting and bless. A flower blooms, a bee pollinates. Some of us are only faces and windows. One must do one's part, whatever that is, must stir pity or disgust. I'm awake in the night. Of my soul's path, I am bereaved. I roam the cold, familiar rooms. Like a fly, I sit, limp-winged, weak. I sit, so many eyes, but still unfathoming. I deliver myself to myself. What good does it do? Palestine's children, it forgets, dwells on the log in my eye, is sure we're all partially blind to each other. This is why mercy. Be real. raw rivers on plumb surface lit. That's all. Thank you.
Nice start. Thank you, Marianne. Let's go next to Mr. Bill Lewis. Let's get the zany out of the way. Let's get early zany. Let's get early zany.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Bradford, Chadford. I really love being second because second is one of my favorite numbers because 2 and 2 is 4, and 4 and 4 is 8, and 8 and 8 is 16, and 16 and 16 is 32, and I can go on forever. But anyway, it is a great honor and pleasure. Now, I am in desperate need of the following characters. I believe that I had Fran B. I believe that was Ms. B. Excellent. And now, having killed off the other characters, I am in need of a grasshopper, preferably a wacko person who like who would be grasshopper like, and grasshopper is like.
Bill, I watched lots of episodes of Count Kung Fu, so I'll be the grasshopper.
Did John just volunteer to be grasshopperish?
Yes, he
Indeed, I
did.
did.
Excellent. And now I have to get this thing in gear. I am totally out of gear. I need to share this thing and where did I put it? I'm feeling stupid. I'm really embarrassed. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And now I should be able to, oops, not that button. All these damn buttons, it's so confusing. Back when I was your age, we didn't have all these screens and all these buttons and all these mouse gidgy gadgy wiggy waggies. No, we had
We had punch
pens.
cards.
Okay, so I should now be able to share the screen. Is that correct? Oh, I do need to share the screen.
You're good. You should be able to now.
Excelente. Let's see if I have done this correctly. And you should be able to see the script for Fran B. And so Fran has left the hive under difficult circumstances and the has watched a water skimmer get eaten, and now the spider has eaten her, wrapped up her presumed friend. There, let's see, where are we? Wait, where I just, excuse me, I'm feeling stupid. Spider, Greg, the great bee. I'm sorry, I should have had this all set up beforehand. That's correct.
You're a teacher
Greg,
there.
spider. Okay, I have finally found blah blah blah. Excuse me. I have found the correct location. So we are about to begin right here at the bottom of this page. The spider's words proved to be true. In 7 days of flying, Fran found 100 paranoid and selfish insects and not a single friend. Everyone she met either ignored her, avoided her, or wanted her for dinner. She was mistrustful when a high-pitched voice called out to her.
Where are you going?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, no. I just want to talk for a moment.
You're so gaudy. Who told you that you could fly?
Oh, all grasshoppers are clumsy. It's just not my fault. I was born this way. My name's Greg. Who are you?
What do you want to know? What do you want from me?
Oh, what do I want from you? You sound just like everyone else. I'm just a crazy old grasshopper nobody likes. What I want is a friend to talk to and do things with, but you have to hurry off to the hive, right?
No, I don't have a hive. I'm lonely myself.
Are you? Oh, come down and sit and talk with me. Be my friend. This is my field. I was born here. I can show you everything about it. I know where there are flowers that birds never see, and I know how to make tobacco. And oh, be my friend.
Fran was suddenly very happy. She didn't even look around for hidden frogs, but chose a stem near Greg, landed, and started talking. It turned out that Greg was as much of an outcast as Fran was. None of the other insects cared for grasshoppers. For matter, very few of the other insects cared for anyone, and none of the grasshoppers cared for Greg. Their mutual banishment proved to be a major factor in their friendship. In other ways, they were quite different. Greg seemed far too frivolous, always wanting to play and turning everything to a joke or a game. He, in turn, was often bored with Fran's insistence in talking about philosophy and her eternal questioning.
Why don't the others like us? Why are we friends? Why are you so crazy?
That one's simple because of the way I travel. If every time you wanted to fly somewhere you had to bound into the air and pray that whatever you ran into was going to soft. Ouch, my
Greg
head.
bounds into the air.
Yes, if you bash your head on every flight, you'd be nuts too. My problem is I'm silly and crazy. Grasshoppers are supposed to be serious and crazy. Where did
A new flower path. You were going to show me. We were talking about it. Have you forgotten again?
you bash your head on dragon weed and see how much you remember? It's actually a real advantage not having a good memory. I got to forget all the things I don't like, and there are a lot of them.
Oh,
Think of how much happier you would be if you could forget all about your hive.
Fran thought about it. Thank you so much.
And scene.
Bill,
Thank you.
for my performance, I want a gallon of pollen.
God.
I think that I can manage something, maybe not a gallon, but I do know of several bees who have several, well, not quite coarse, but something, yes, definitely a pollen.
Are you one of those South American killer bees, Robert? Give me your pollen.
Oh, God. Okay, we can save the negotiation for after. Let's go to a real life negotiation. I love show business. Let's go next to. How can I follow that? Let's go to. Oh, yes, Rita Rusty Rose.
Okay, that was delightful. Okay, I'm working on something, so this will be the first run through. Muse, wick of artistic inspiration, immersed into the darkened lamp of the soul. Summon is the goddess of fruition, sparking ideas, infatuations, stimulations, dispelling despair, pain, numbness, crisis. When consumed, she melts into the oscillating pyra of self. That's all she wrote.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully that's it until the next round. All right, thank you, Miss Rose. And let's go to Nike Truth next. Good to have her back.
Evening, everyone. I have a rough draft, and it is my response to some information I recently learned. I guess if you burn food, you're not supposed to eat the burnt parts because it has cancer or something like that. And this is my response. I've always liked my food a little black, a little burnt to the gristle. I want that chemical plume in my mouth. I don't want to stop eating cancer. I want that delicious taste of overdone. And if I can't have it disintegrating in my hand, I want it fresh. I want fright dripping all over me. I want the sweat to season the skin. I want to taste the last prayer as I sink in. Thank you.
Very nice. Reminds me of that scene where the chef explains why he overcharges for certain things. I always charge extra for black foods. Anytime people want things black, it's more, because people love black. They think, ooh, they think it's death. Death, I've eaten you. But look up The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. It's really good.
Oh, that's a great movie. I love it. Helen Mirren. Yeah, Helen Mirren.
Fantastic script too, Peter Greenaway. Let's go now to let's go to Mr. Rich Boucher.
All right. Thank you, Chad. I really appreciate that. Y'all can hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay. So this is let me just say that this poem is a response to a writing prompt. Make a poem about something small or tiny. This is called Motel Tryst in a Snow Globe. Notice the care that the artist took in bringing some humor into the design to complement the realism and grit in this piece. The four-sided, translucent, smoky gray plastic base with the light-up pink neon vacancy sign on the front panel, meant to evoke the dingy windows of a no-tell motel off the highway. A notch at the bottom of the rear panel on the base allows a USB cord to come through and supply power and light to both the sign and the interior of the globe. Inside the glass globe itself, we see a little bed with faux oak nightstands on either side. What time of day is evident in the impressionist painting on the wall above the headboard? Notice the lovely cover of the bedspread itself, the high thread count white cotton sateen with autumnal floral pattern trim. Why do you think the artist went with the sorrowful colors of the fall? At the foot of the bed stands an average man in a white shirt and dark slacks loosening his blue necktie, clearly beginning to undress as he leers smilingly at the attractive and regular woman on the bed. The woman kneels on the bed, facing him, and she's reaching back to unhook her dark red balconette brassiere. Her expression seems to be one of excitement and anticipation, but the way the artist has drawn her eyes makes it appear as though her emotion and readiness for a coupling actually hides some hesitance and trepidation. Why do you think the artist chose to make the scene take place when it does? What would have been lost or gained by having the scene depict the lovers in a state of post-coitus? Observe the top of the nightstand on the left. See the iPhone and a set of car keys. The screen appears lit up. Can you see who is calling? Look at the top of the nightstand on the right. There's another phone and also an acorn tone Michael Kors satchel. There's a pint of Knob Creek bourbon and 2 glasses with last sips in them. There's an open pack of Marlboro Lights beside an ashtray with a lit cigarette, the tip burning like a little copper fire. Can you tell which of the pair is the smoker? Did either of them bring breath mints? Or does their need for what's about to happen supersede concerns about taste? What do you think inspired the artist to create the scene? Is the artist perhaps remembering something in his own personal history and recreating it here? Do you think the artist approves of this sort of behavior? Or is his perspective one of harsh judgment? What's up with this artist anyhow? Doesn't he have anything better to do than pry into the lives of complete strangers? Whatever happened to the right to privacy? If you think the artist is the sort of person who gets off on watching others get it on, explain why you think so. And then explain why you're looking at me like that. Thanks.
I love that one. Very good. Let's double dip into the Richard name, and let's bring up Mr. Richard Spizak, the poet of Three Rivers himself.
Thank you so much, my friends. I have two little pieces for you. Both scratch the political itch. This first one, an amusing little piece, unfortunately chock full of truth and facts, therefore obviously a revolutionary act. It's called Closing Diversity's Door. Zuck says, yuck to DEI. What's to hate in the end? Isn't it really all about everyone being the white man's friend? If only, to say again, only the Lord himself is above the white man's studied, sullen, and bitter end. All those darker hue on you, didn't they ever get the news? You're excited, I know you are. We're riding, but don't kid yourself. You'll be out back pushing the car. I'm the white man. I'm in charge. Aren't you just ecstatic and enthusiastic watching me out there, aromatic, living large? Yeah, you'll attend my ship estate. You may admire me, just don't forget. You'll be down below labeled freight. But hey, you know I'm great. I really rate, and we'll be stealing from your long-lost state all the things that enrich us. Wait, minerals, forests, water too. We may even need your creatures for our zoo. Oh yeah, we'll steal your labor too. We'll take that after, by the way. We'll probably need a brand new hat. I'll need a couple mansions and a great big boat, of course. All my loans will gather round. You'll wear them tightly round your throat. And all those women we chiefly do employ, just make sure they bow and curtsy to our boys. Sure enough, they've had their day in court, but face it now, we're all well past that last resort. Don't you really want our protection? We think so. While we admire each passing mirror, our gleaming, masterful reflection. Ah, such perfection, purged from our sight, obscuring thee, O thou chattel. I guess we'll just enjoy the sounds of the chains when they rattle. We like the bells upon our fine chocolate Swiss cattle. Go ahead, complain. We thought you might. After all our sanctimonious talk of Christian values, we know deep down what we really believe, my friend, is might is right. We'll take Panama and Greenland too. Perhaps we'll make Canada a state. Wouldn't you? Maybe we'll invade Mexico. Yeah, we might. We'll sneak down from California and Texas on some deep dark night. No more DEI. I don't think we can. Besides, after any of the real big mistakes must be done by man. And then, this is one of my old favorites. Send the rich into space. They know their place. High above the common trace, let's send the rich into space. We'll spare them gladly from our face, leering madly. They made their case. Let's just send the rich into space. We'll send the rich into space. Make them out let their own fresh air. They'll have to make it. I don't care. No use to fake it. Losing the rich won't make us sad, mad, or even glad, but it does scratch an itch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Richard. I'd like to bring up next Miss Jan Rowe, who wasn't here with us last week. Glad she's here now.
Did it? Yeah, it unmuted. Thank you. This is something different I'm finding to help me deal these days, that music helps. So if you could hear Elvis Presley singing Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love, you know that? Trump did not put his hand upon the Bible during recent inauguration. Was he fearful of it bursting into flames? So that's why I put that Elvis piece with it. And here's the other one. You may remember The Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces Tell Lies. It was an old Temptation song. And they say the truth is in the eyes because the eyes don't lie, my friend. Reminded me of Melania's hat. You couldn't see her eyes. So then I was thinking, Bach. He did a Sacred Head and Amy Grant's version with Thunder. And the last one was this Voight guy. He's the head of the OMB, Office of Management and Budget, and he wrote Project 25, and he was duped. I didn't want to call him the stoop was duped, but it was so rhythmic. But the last one is, you know that old Mike Hammer song, Can't Top That? Well, it's who wrote that for Project 25. That's it. Thank you. God, we need a laugh, don't we?
Yeah, dear.
We need a laugh. The other
The only highlight of the inauguration was Melania's hat, where she looked like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat. And yes, there were memes showing that. I'll show images. All right, one person gets it. Let's see. Let's see who we have next. Oh, it gives me great pleasure to have the Abraminator 5000 have me introduce Mr. Robert Fleming from Delaware.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a visual poet from Lewis, Delaware. And tonight I will be doing a tribute to the Chinese New Year by sharing on the Chinese zodiac. This is an image of it which somebody else created, which was my model. I'll just go through the different animals on the upper left to the right. The rat, the ox, tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the snake,
Hey, dragons rule!
the goat, the monkey, the rooster, the dog, and the pig. So this was my my copy of it using the graphic software Canva. And then here they are side by side. And another one I did, the color was red and gold. And here are mine, red background and goldish animals. And here they are side by side. And then the third one I copied was the circle. And in order to be able to place the animals on the circle, I first created a circle, and then I put it on the graphic image, and then I placed all the animals near the exterior of the circle. And then I removed the circle. And here they are side by side. And I want to, this is the last one I did, which is similar to the placemat you get when you go to a Chinese restaurant. So here I am collecting the elements to make the image. The top is the border, Here is the pagoda, and then two figures, small sculptures. Here's the outline, the border. And then here is the full image. You'll see on the bottom, I made the two sculpture images green because the rest of the piece has a lot of red, and green and red are the opposite colors, so they will be more salient. So thank you for letting me share 3 of my studies of the Chinese zodiac. And I did want to share 2 good pieces of news. The magazine Five Fleas were on Wednesday. On Monday, published 2 of my 1 or 2 line poems. And then my blog about creating a writing voice through Old Scratch Press will be published tomorrow. So thank you, and have a happy Chinese New Year.
Congrats. At least until Trump tells us not to celebrate it. China owns the new year now like they own the Panama Canal. Can't have it. I've been watching way too much news. Let us go now to... Who do we go to now? Oh, yes, let's go to Ari Whipple, Future Stone Soup feature this coming month in February.
Sure, thank you. This poem is called, I just typed it up today. It's called The Violence of Negligence. Peace, peace, peace. My heart screams for peace. The end of violence. It whispers gently, delicately, as it places the flower on the gravel, I think. Don't shoot with these looks. Don't hand me down with your judgments. I can't handle another cannon blast of this ill-begotten fate. We bare our teeth before we grin and bear it. We take it all into ourselves, the feeling of the whole, the coming of the destiny weighing down on us as we come, tide and time against us as the floodgates burst. There are no barriers to protect us at all. Who then will save us?
I like that. And now, let's segue now to Mr. John Wezick, who is petitioning to have Wombat be one of the be part of the Chinese New Year calendar.
Okay, let's see if I can share the screen. I think I can. Okay, so I also took a sketch writing, sketch comedy class when improv was a thing. And since everybody's bringing in their sketches, I'm bringing in one of mine. This is called Not Muffy, and I need to cast people. I need FBI agents Cooper and Jackson, and also Art Breslin, a dog owner. May I suggest that Cooper is Rich Boucher, Ari Whipple would be Agent Jackson, and Bill Lewis would be Art Breslin, the dog owner. How does that sound to you? And
I'll do it.
You'll do it? Okay.
This smacks of typecasting. I don't know.
Rich, you up for this? Where's Rich?
I'm right here if you can hear me. Can you zoom in, though? That type is so... I'm having a hard time zooming in.
Okay, let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Is that good?
And you're going to scroll, right? You'll do the scrolling?
And I will scroll and I will read the credits. And the nice thing is they actually gave this format for doing these plays, and I think it actually works out pretty well, so you can pick it up. 2 FBI agents approach Art Breslin.
Mr. Breslin, FBI. I'm Agent Cooper, and this is Agent Jackson. I'm afraid we have some bad news.
Your dog is a Russian spy.
You need your mic on, Bill.
Oh, damn it. I did that such a good job. I was so convincing in my own bedroom. What's my motivation? I'm sorry. Okay, give me my line again, Agent Jackson.
Your dog is a Russian spy.
A spy? Not Muffy.
Muffy, more like Svetlana,
Have you noticed anything suspicious?
like burying false passports and a large amount of cash in the backyard, for example.
No, nothing like that, but
But what?
well, she has a stuffed monkey that she won't let me go near.
Could be a suicide pill or some kind of code book.
But how?
The KGB runs an obedience school in Petropavlovsk.
They teach them all kind of tricks: sit, stay, roll over, eavesdropping, cryptography, counter surveillance, black bag operations.
I I'm sorry. I can't believe it. Not after the way she fetches my shorts or looks after me with those adoring eyes.
How did you meet?
Well, she followed me home from the park. No collar. I put ads in the paper, but nobody claimed her.
Doesn't that seem a little suspicious? I mean, look at you. You're no dog whisperer.
Why would Russians be interested in an assistant manager at Denny's? Huh?
Trade secrets, perhaps?
They've been stealing our critical technology for years.
Which is why we need your cooperation.
We want you to play along and find out what Muffy is looking for.
Agent Cooper hands Breslin a dog collar.
We need you to put this collar on Muffy.
It contains a microphone and a GPS receiver.
I could never trust anyone ever again.
In counterintelligence, the world's a hall of mirrors.
Oh, how can I do this? Do it. I'll do it.
If you need to contact us, place an ad in the Craigslist missed connection section stating, "Chubby mom looking to please a man." We check it twice a day.
Oh, yeah.
Roll up your sleeve.
What's that?
Rabies shot, just in case.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Big hand for the actors.
Everyone wants to direct now. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Well, thank you very much, John. To be continued, I think. Let us. I think Ron Bremner has joined us, and I would love for him to help finish out the first round of this round robin open mic. Ron, if you're willing and able.
Sure. This piece was just accepted by the Platform Review, and it'll be in their February issue. When silence rears its broken nose, yellow clouds fall from the sky, or an airplane was tomorrow. A question of ignorance was swallowed when politicians ate brass knuckles that had rusted from acid rain. A woman carried a solid gold diaper and a see-through hammer under her arm. Seeking shelter from the storm, her minister told her was coming. Doorbells squat on an exercise mat. A doctor challenges my house to a duel. Crossword puzzles bleed without warning. Serious strangers await a decision. A courtroom erupts in cheers. A judge sits on a hypodermic needle. A plumber inspects judicial robes for leaks. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Ron. And coming to the end of the first round, gives me great pleasure to welcome back Mr. James Van Looy. Check out his column coming this Friday, as it does. No, Thursday, if it does every Thursday at 11 a.m. It's all one thing. Mr. Van Looy, you're up.
Hi. Yeah, so I have a poem here from a few years back. And it's actually it's about a storm, so we just kind of basically just had a kind of big storm here. It's called Paranoid. Paranoid is the name of this poem. Distraught, Devon pleads. There's no one I can trust. Left out with his disabled friend in a massive northeaster just missed us off the coast. The system has failed him and even more failed her. His friend in a wheelchair, now in a hospital, costing more than it would have cost to have an actual social worker, making sure they didn't end up in the alcove in front of the coop in Harvard Square, where they weathered just barely another record cold, wet storm, swirling just off coast, swamping the Cape, and taking out electric to 600,000 or so, they say. And now, here is Devon, distraught, who writes so well, is creative, crying before coffee clutch, All Saints. And I got a Dutch song for you here. Dark God say, and so veel schoonheid have it nooit verdiend. Daar staat zij, en zoveel krasje have it nooit gezien. Soms praat zij, terwijl ze slapen met mijn kussen speelt. Ik laat zij, zolang ze met mijn lakken steelt. En zelfs de poeders van de bed kijken mensen als ze fout parkeert. En zelfs de flikken hebben pret als ze sensueel voorbij marcheert. Angeneer, ik weet wel dat zij waarschijnlijk niet lang bij me blijft. Ik weet wel dat zij met anderen haar tijd verdrijft. Zij heeft soms geheimen waar ik liever niets van weet. Zij zweeft soms, then droomt zodat ze soms ook mij vergeet. En zelfs de hoeders van de kerk kijken in zijn verschoonheid neer. The bishop zegt, this is God's work, voice is crazy, hoofd en dank de Heer. Nog eens een keer, dank u mijn Heer. Zij heeft soms geheimen waar ik liever niets aan weet. Zij zweeft soms en droomt zodat ze soms ook mijn vergeet. En zelfs de voeders van this land zouden liever in mijn schoenen staan. Ja, de premier denkt naar haar hand en biedt me voor te voelen je aan. Maar ik denk er niet aan, look naar de maan. Daar gaat zij, daar gaat zij, daar gaat zij.
Thank you, James. It's time for round two of the round robin. Thanks to everyone who participated the first round. Hope you stay for the second, that you're able to. I'd like to start off with begin at the beginning, as they say, or re-begin at the beginning with Marianne Honecker, hopefully with another Golden Shovel poem.
It's just another golden shovel. It's using Victoria Chang's Rain Travel from The Trees Witness Everything. And it's called The Ethereal Everything. Sometimes I'm in love with the rain and the way it gems on my hoodie. The raindrops hold the sky's dome in their bellies. They stare intently at what they face, reflect it back. It's sacred attention, on the sill, lined like rows of classmates. The sun eats them up when they focus on her. I'm blinking, on fire. The sky takes them up in its blue embrace. I look out from my ego, my window. How do they proffer themselves up like that? Their lifespans are already so small. Their faces are same as each other's faces, as if they would not leave the cloud if each were given the weather's gears. To drop is to live. All of us are falling one by one. We pass through with every second. Sometimes I'm in love with trains, how each of them has a route and a destination. My path meanders. I'm never home. Life measured out in dump truck loads. If I keep walking, I'll find a road. I watch the squirrels leap tree to tree. No one guides them. Children were lost in a rainforest. To find them, trackers became children to see the wildness, flower to fruit, in which they bumbled like toddlers and found. Well, I put on the right glasses for now, get interstellar vision, and get way too close to angels. This trip needs a heavy sack. Stars are our guides. Sometimes they die. And what then? The leaves burn yellow, rust, for fall. The birds mass south. They have other songs they perform in the tree stops. I do not have my ball and cup. With the rain nearly done, I've caught none of God's tears. They cycle their way around the earth and heavens. Their jobs are simply to accept the weather. Now, why is my purpose complicated in markets, sold if worth selling? And they're circling the rings of Saturn, sing an old cosmic opera. I forget my age. I want the ethereal everything, the nun prayed, and promptly died. It said whatever you yearn for to you comes, but in a different shape. All this, too, is a riddle, said the Sphinx, but too late. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Bill Lewis.
I really like sphinxes or sphinxi or sphinxen, whatever they are, lots of them. I like the idea of a sphinx, so I'm down with that. So I just have to brag for a moment. In my background shot, I can show you that I have my first paying gig here in Idaho, Idaho, James Madison. There I am. I am going to this gig. It will be actually it will be in March, and I'll do this great thing. It'll be wonderful. And look at that, they're going to pay me. I am a paid professional. How cool is that? Woohoo! And now to the question of the day. La, 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 la. We have Fran and Greg all ready to go.
All set.
The two insects pass the rest of the summer together. During the day, they played, talked, did everything they could think of doing. During the nights, they slept in a small pile of straw next to each other. Now and then, they talked about how they thought and felt about being exiled, but usually conversation broke down when Greg got bored or cracked a joke or saw a pretty flower he hadn't remembered seeing 10 minutes before. Still, Fran was happier now than she had ever remembered, and there were even times when she forgot all about the hive she left behind. Then there were times that things brought it back again, like the day that Greg showed her the ants.
They're just incredibly stupid but serious. Just watch this.
Attack! 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 Oh! Go the soldiers! Defend the hills! Slaughter the enemy! Attack! Charge! Charge! Charge!
I'll move off to the side for a moment and they'll forget all about me.
Victory! Victory! We have won! Hail to the ants! Hail to the ants! Hail!
And now...
Attack! Attack! Call the soldiers! Defend the hills! Slaughter the enemy! Attack! Attack! Attack!
They've got to realize it was you again.
Ah, they're dumb. They always obey orders exactly. If the orders don't say pursue the intruder off the line, then they won't. Watch this. I can do this all day. I once counted and did it 37 times in a row. They did exactly the same thing each 37 times. Ants are dumb.
Fran nodded in agreement, thinking about her hive. Thank you so much, my fellow thespians.
I want my pollen.
Too late in the night for prima donna actors. Let's go next to. Thank you, Bill. So we'll go next to Rusty Rose.
Okay, this is from my flower poems, Personalities in Bloom. It's a little fun, light pantoum. Hollyhocks to Oz. Ruffled, flowering, blissful spikes, pointing their way to Oz. Purple, pink, yellow, and red floral steps. Leaves of green waiting to be climbed. Pointing their way to Oz, 1 foot up I go and go. Leaves of green waiting to be climbed, taking me nearer to my magical destination. 1 foot up I go and go. Purple, pink, yellow, and red floral steps, taking me nearer to my magical destination. Ruffled, flowering, blissful spikes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Up next is Nike Truth.
All right, round two. This is an older poem. The beginning quote is, "Dream if you can a courtyard, an ocean of violets in bloom. Animals strike curious poses. They feel the heat." I'm assuming you know who that is. All right. The title is called That Was My Intention, Babe. It's late at night. The only thing stronger than the oil diffuser is the clinging smell of burnt sugar. You can make the color rush to my flesh, but you rather talk like this. How boring, my dear. I think about the prick. I think about the slice. I think about how I want to consume all the sensation of life. The burn of falling hard, the discolored swelling of my pathetic form being put to the test. I've told you many times to contour your expectations. What's the word you always use? That'll describe what my species is and the impulsive need to run away and run into everything. Where will you be when you realize that this is all so temporary? That lump in your throat, the one in your head, the one that twerks in your ribcage. And when you've had the same conversation all your life about why this isn't what you expected it to be, but then you'd have nothing to show for that you've been alive. I will not care for your wounded pride tonight. You said that I ruined the mood? Well, thank you.
Did you just put Prince in his place? Well, very impressive. Thank you so much, Nike. And we're gonna go back to Rich Boucher.
All right, great. Thank you, Chad. And I'm going to offer up a poem with a brief epigraph. The poem is by me, and the epigraph is by an author called Chad Pereno. This is a poem, a short one, so I'm going to read the entire thing as the epigraph. When it's time to listen, they concentrate. I said off switch, not Auschwitz. And this poem is called Make a Gun Boy Cry Again. The young man who is also an old man, who is also someone who really loves and adores the police, and who is also, by pure coincidence, a Caucasian man, and who also really loves and adores Lee Greenwood's hymn, Proud to be an American, comes into my store wearing a pro-gun Second Amendment fetish shirt, meaning that he comes to the thought of the use of guns. The notion of shooting ranges gets him ready to launch billions upon billions of knuckle children into the world with ease. The fantasy of a flag-waving, obedient woman with full available tits, tightness like a vice, and a head for far-right hand jobs like a good Lauren should, makes him arrive like a jackhammer. And the tough guy legends born on that t-shirt read, in this particular order, lead or be led, and lions not sheep. Lots of pointy, spiky, sharp, aggressive, tribal, tattoo-ish graphics on that shirt. Lots of impotence deep in the center of his tactical pants. So much ineffectual cock. There's also an eagle on the t-shirt, and the eagle has an obvious erection, and the eagle is dropping bombs on a library in the image, and on each bomb someone has scrawled the words, "fuck your feelings," in white chalk. Get it? See what that t-shirt did there? He comes into my store wearing this horrid, small, penis, militaristic cosplay nonsense. He somehow expects to be taken seriously. He expects this. What he does not expect is what I give him. I smack him in the face until he cries. On the inside of my hand, on the palm side, you can see the word bitch written there in scarlet, indelible fingerprint. And that is the side of my hand I shake him with so that he will cry, so that he will understand. He gets down on his knees in front of me and cries and begs and sissies for me because that's what he has coming to him for dressing like that. He was asking for it. The way he was dressed. The way he was dressed. The way he was dressed. I dust his face with cooking flour until he feels small. I fix pink bows in his hair until he can't explain what's wrong, until all he can do is whimper. I castrate him with a carrot scraper and apply clown makeup to his face and parade him around. He's my little toy dog now. His new name is Girly Cake, the little adorable cunt clown. He is mewling like a scrawny, milky infant kitten, a present from heaven. I pat him on his head, but this is what he has coming. This is what you get, I tell him, for coming into my work like you're some kind of badass with your gun-loving t-shirt. This is what you get for wearing a t-shirt that proclaims that since you love the Second Amendment, that means you get the right to lead me anywhere. I make him wear a woman apron and make my steak and potatoes right there in the store. I make him suck me off while vacuuming the corners, and I force him to be a Norman Rockwell painting. I make him call himself bitch when I summon him. He only wanted to get some ranch water and hard cider and tequila and cigars and some other alpha male supplements, but now he knows what he has to do. I force him to wear hair curlers. I tampon him right in the face until he cries light days like he's in the 7th grade again. It's what he gets for wearing a t-shirt extolling the rock-hard virtues of gun ownership. Now he knows all about my ownership of him. This is what he gets. I mean, to dress like that. Clearly, he was asking for it. Thanks.
If his mic wasn't on the stand, it'd be doing drop now. But thank you so much, Rich. I'm flattered he'd used that piece for an epigram. That was Very flattering. Thank you very much. I am blushing. Who do we have next? And now for something completely different. Let's go to Richard Spizak of the Three Rivers.
Thank you, my friends. I offer you this meditation on our healthcare system since we had such a stellar performance of a man who spoke out of both sides of his worm. It's called Please Don't Change Our Darwinian Healthcare Industry. Maybe the sick should just die. I've heard them complain on the bus and the train as they cough and they stress, spewing their mess, flailing painfully, postponing their rest, denying the end, calling on friends. Maybe the sick should just die. All of their screeching has battered my brain, the yowling and moaning and screaming and groaning, the toing and froing, the ugly wounds flowing without pause or restraint with the plaster and paint. Maybe the sick should just die. They parade to the hospital and clog up the halls. They charade when they're not well. They drag us to your hell with their slips and their falls, their legs in casts as you wheeze and whisper and gasp. They teeter on crutches, slowing me down the wheelchairs and ramp stairs. They're clowning around, the coughing and sneezing, their boring old wheezing. The word it's not pleasing. Maybe the sick should just die. Insurance rates and mental states, implants and valves and stents, upgraded joints and prosthetic limbs. My vision dims. I can't take a hint. Maybe the sick should just die. Surgeons and nurses and doctors by the score, orthopedists, anesthesists, and more, pancreas, appendix, replacement kidneys and nose tricks, x-rays and MRIs and ultrasound and radiation. Maybe they stop at every station. They're messing up the nation. Maybe the sick should just die. All the pills and the potions, the extravagant notions of fellowship, stop the commotion, rescind the motion. What a trip, let her rip. Maybe the sick should just die. Commercials round the clock, drug cures, chock-a-block, take this, rub that on, take the stuff between your pillows have been fluffed, I've had enough, maybe the sick should just die. If you can't be finally repaired, society must declare we can't pay their bills, just take this pill. Maybe the sick should just die. Medicare, Medicaid, even more than we can bear, you'll never have enough, stop the waste, you're in bad taste, maybe the sick should just die.
Tell us how they really feel, Richard. Well, you just did. Thank you very much. And up next is Jan Rowe.
Hi. This was in the I finally got this piece in. It was a rush job because we had to get off the train and I got to writing group late. I was also starting to feel like back in the 600s, the 700s, well, there was no copies, so they were like writing things about people. I've started to do that but live and dead. They were usually just for this people that had died. So this one's called Leonard Peltier. I will focus on Native American Leonard Peltier being pardoned after about a half century, rather than on the 1,600 person blanket pardon. Some serial committers of violence now threatening violence to judges, one shot dead already by the cops. The lawyer or attorney who helped convict Leonard Peltier about 50 years ago asked for him to be released. The case was faulty, he says, against Leonard. And he is at the 80 years of age, in poor health, diabetic, now on home confinement. He was convicted for the 1975 killing of 2 FBI agents at a shootout at Pine Ridge. Wrong place, wrong time. He has been refused pardons 3 times. He said he wants to show he is good at helping others like his grandmother taught him. Now, about Mumia Abu-Jamal being housed in a prison in southwestern Pennsylvania, where I grew up, nearby where I used to go drink, where my brother lives. Now for seeing Mumia Abu-Jamal. Thank you.
Yeah, Mamiya didn't make the cut, unfortunately. Thank you, Jan.
Right.
And now back to our visual poet from Lewis, Delaware. Let's bring back Mr. Fleming.
Good evening again. So I'm going to share my submission that I made to, I think it's Stone's Throw Democracy, a few poems and some art. A Tale of Two Trumps. When the oven fires, when the rump roast is over roasted, when the fridge is empty, when the ketchup bottle is full, squeeze thumb and index finger until squirt. Ingredients: tomato, vinegar, corn syrup, salt, spice, onion powder, natural flavoring. Until the cow's loin is red river. My diner love, pray you forgive my oven oops. Please squeeze ketchup on my rump. And this is my second poem, Claim. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender human rights. Law abiders, not criminal sodomites. Country defenders, not don't ask, don't tellers. Marriers, not life partners. Workers, not wrongfully unworked. Givers of democracy, not takers. Voters, not abstainers. Claim. And I was born in Montreal, Canada. And this is a fast food restaurant in Montreal called the Orange Julep. Justin Trudeau's pardon granted for smuggling an orange julep barrel over Canada's Niagara Falls to the United States. Orange julep, juicily jump. My tummy aches until I de-straw dump. Orange Julius, eggily gulp. What goes down comes up pulp. Orange julep, Orange Julius, swirlily pump. Second servings, orangely trump. And then these are two art pieces that I submitted. This one is called Primate Voters. And then this was targeted for the back cover of the magazine. All Americans are equal, but some Americans are more equal than others. Thank you for letting me share my submission, and I'm enjoying contributing to Stone's Throw. Thank you for that opportunity, Chad.
Thank you, Robert. And anyone who wants to submit pieces, if they haven't already, to the Democracy Benefit issue of Stone's Throw, which will get out whenever we can. Although, given the preemptive resignation letters, I have the option to fill out. We should get it out soon. Let's. Well, I can still print. Let's go now to Ari Whipple.
Oh, thanks. I didn't realize it was my turn already. Oh, okay. I typed this one up today as well. So it needs a little bit of editing. But initially, it's called Thoughts as the Wind Sang. I can feel it within me, the depths of feeling, the hunger. The parasail moves off to the side, lazily giving in to the breeze, unawares. The point of entry into the city has been hard as they tore holes into the mother, digging deep, her dirt going everywhere, the crust erupting in concrete layers of misery and chaos cars going about in confusing conifers of choreography that buzzed and buzzed, bees that danced to a construction song. I felt it in the back of my skull like Maxwell's hammer beating me with some kind of truth. I looked out, at rest as a seagull cried, and wondered if it would work out soon. Thank you.
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer. Love that. I love any Maxwell Silver Hammer references you can get in. There aren't that many, much to my non-surprise. And now, he wants to direct too. He's on his way. We're all gonna be working for him in the sketch group he's gonna be forming. Let's welcome up Mr. John Wesick.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's I'm thinking of Maxwell's Demon, but that's another story. Here's a poem that just got published. The tedium of human relations. Grifters pour barium milkshakes of double talk and diplomatic responses catch in my throat like the trout bones I choked on when I was 6. Polite society is a breakfast burrito of bald-faced lies, a burned pipe flooding the bedroom with moral panic, a hangnail of gossip catching on Truth's sock before it puts on its shoes. Dogma chews with its mouth open while political correctness plants IEDs in honest discourse. There's a minefield of hidden agendas at the checkout counter, 100 pounds of soggy justifications balancing the washing machine. The timing belt snapped on love. My therapist tells me new push rods and rocker arms will cost more than I make in a decade. Junket. I'll walk.
Pardon the delay, had to pick up something. Thank you, Mr. Wesick. And now, if Ron Bremner is with us, yes, come and join in one more time.
Okay, let's see here. Here's a very short one. A woman wearing a blood red dress laughs uncontrollably at parked cars. A meter maid eats a peach and stares at her. An aged man brandishes a balloon on the subway platform. The F train screeches and halts like a ghost on fire. Passengers disembark, not noticing religion. A truck full of nails repeats itself. A hamper full of unborn clothes collapses. A basket of tears can't stop crying. A house full of lice diminishes. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.
Thanks for coming back, Ron. I like your stuff. This is I like it added to the mix. Hope you keep on coming back. And now with that, we get taken back again with possibly another song, definitely another poem from Mr. James Van Looy. You're up if you're ready. There we go.
Yeah. So I've got a poem here. This is called Lesser Evilism. Such an absolute label as evil is not easily shrunk to a lesser form of moral calculus, tallying one horrendous act to another. No, evil comes at us when turned away and gets us in the back. And before we can turn in time, it has us exactly where it wants and wants and wants, excruciating predicament of nutcase violation and oh so rational perpetration. Oh yes, perpetrators up and down and all around, choose this or that, when this is a madman narcissist acting out, and that is calculated rational road to global world war.
Oh.
And this is Bob Dylan's song, I Shall Be Released. They say everything can be replaced. They say every distance is not near. Yet I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. Yet I see my reflection somewhere so high above this wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Well, yonder stands a man in this lonely crowd, a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shouting so loud. He's crying out that he was framed. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Thank you.
And with that, wow. Oh, John Wizik has actually a question I might be able to partially answer. Does anyone remember Son of God comics in the National Lampoon? The devil character was the evil Zimmerman. I don't remember that. But I remember someone did a Bob Dylan parody. How he was Bob Dylan Zimmerman was secretly his identity is like Bob Dylan, like the deaf businessman, and then his secret identity was Bob Dylan, the singer. But no, I don't know Son of God comics, but I will scour what collections I have and see if I can find them for you.
Yeah. Well, that's so the evil Zimmerman was the bad guy. Always
I'm gonna
opposed
have
Son of God.
I'll have to double down and find that. There is a National Lampoon archive out there, unofficial, but it's there. You might be able to find it there. I'll send you links. But
Have you ever visited the offices of the Harvard Lampoon?
there you go. But with the words from James Pullman's song, we are all released as well. I release you. The mass is over. Enjoy the hell we all have to go back to for the next 7 days until we meet again. Although some of you will probably be going to other open mics and other gatherings. Good luck with those. I'll probably be too busy for those, but I'll be looking for your submissions to Stone's Throw. Oddball Magazine is going to be looking for timely work as well. There's so much happening. We all can't possibly write about it and and cover it all, but we can try. Thanks so much for posing for the wave. You guys get me. I appreciate that. Yeah, there you go. And thank you guys for coming tonight. The features will be announced, the details will be given, and there will be much rejoicing as we go through 2025 with the best representatives possible to comment on what's going on. And I thank you guys for showing up for it week after week. And you guys take care, stay safe, and take care of someone else if you can. Thank you, and have yourselves a great evening. The show's over. We see you next time.